Welcome to Pages and Pods. In this presentation, I will review Chapter 7, Christ, the Great Mystery of Earth Evolution, in According to Luke, by Rudolf Steiner. The solar Christ has always been a part of Earth's evolution, guiding the soul of humanity, which I will interject as the Adam Kadmon, preparing it to receive the pure essence of the solar Christ, making it possible for humanity to exit from the wheel of life, the endless process of death and rebirth known as samsara. Rudolf Steiner said that Christ was destined to become more accessible to human perception. Before his birth, he was only accessible to initiates. It was necessary for him to live among normal people. He evidenced this by applying spiritual science to great historical events in human evolution. Looking far back in time, he says the Seven Rishis, also called the Saptarishi, of ancient India knew about Christ. They are the mind-born sons of Lord Brahma, first born hundreds of thousands of years ago. They assist in the preservation of cosmic law and order. They knew Christ and called him Vishvakarman, the divine architect in Hinduism. He is the aspect of Brahma responsible for creating the earth. To imagine Hindu time, consider that creation occurred 6 Manvataras ago. This is a length of time over 300 million years. We're about 125 million years into the 7th Manvatara, in a time known as the Kali Yuga, which began in 3102 BCE. Christ has been around for a long time. Anthroposophy states that Christ revealed himself to Zarathustra, also known as Zoroaster. He appeared in garments of sunlight and became known as Ahura Mazda. Spiritual science equates Christ to the light and to the solar rays of the sun, though not as what we see as the physical sun, but to the spiritual essence making up the sun. Kabbalists as well as Neoplatonists also see the sun as a spiritual body emanating divine will. Zarathustra was able to understand the divine light of Christ because he was a transcendent master, a true initiate. His eye was chosen to develop into a pure body capable of receiving the Christ being. The Buddha also had an essential role in setting the stage for the earthly embodiment of Christ. Like Zarathustra, Christ also revealed himself to the Buddha as Vishvakarman. Steiner tells us that it was the solar Christ who kept the Buddha on his path to enlightenment. After encountering an old man, a sick person, a dead corpse, and an emaciated ascetic, the Buddha, then Prince Siddhartha Gautama, experienced a profound inner transformation by being adorned in spiritual understanding by Vishvakarman. Steiner calls on the Drotten Mysteries, spiritual practices of the Norse and Germanic people now lost to time. In my opinion, the Drotten Mysteries and the Eleusinian Mysteries likely shared commonalities of spiritual traditions rooted in initiation, transformation, and the pursuit of higher wisdom. Both involved rituals and symbolic teachings designed to guide initiates through a process of death and rebirth. In his interpretation of the Drotten Mysteries, there are 12 teachers resembling the 12 zodiacal forces, the 12 bodhisattvas, and the 12 disciples of Christ. Within the center of the 12 is a 13th member, being a true initiate. He is the one who brings forward the wisdom of the 12, bridging heaven and earth. Jesus is the final representation of the 13th member, being anointed through baptism in the Jordan River. Steiner found his inspiration in a poem by Goethe titled The Mysteries. 12 are the ones who stand in a holy ring, bound in spirit to the eternal spring. Each brings forth their wisdom's unique flame, yet all converge in life's sacred name. A wanderer seeks the path they have trod, yearning to join their circle of God. After his birth, the body of Jesus was prepared to receive the solar Christ by the divine inspiration of the Nirmanakaya, Buddha's spiritual body, and the spiritual incarnation of Zoroaster's eye, which was commingled with the essence of Hermes Trismegistus and Moses. Jesus, a Jewish man, was chosen because of the unique quality of the ancient Hebrews to be able to perceive the reflection of the solar Christ. But Steiner begs the question about the timing. Why did this being unite with the earth at such a late stage? To answer the question, Steiner brings us back to the fall of man. This took place during the Lemurian epoch, when the astral body of man was invaded by Luciferic beings. These were forces who remained behind from the old moon. In fact, the incorporation of Luciferic beings entangled us in the materiality of Earth. Had this not occurred, we would have completed our evolution in the higher spheres. The Luciferic beings would have further invaded into our etheric bodies and captured the very essence of humanity. However, higher spiritual beings brought humanity down to the earth in a material form, preventing us from accessing our full etheric body and thereby cutting off access to our etheric bodies by the Luciferic beings. To explain this, Steiner describes the human etheric body as having four forms: fire, light, sound, and life. When man fell to earth, he was allowed to keep his fire and light etheric bodies, representing free will and emotional feeling. Sound and life represent thought and meaning. They were removed from humanity and preserved in the heavenly spheres, keeping him safe until we are prepared to reunite with them. This is not to say that we do not have thought and meaning in our lives, but to connect with them, we must achieve a higher level of consciousness to bring them down from the heavenly spheres. Without spiritual development, we will fall into imbalance and disharmony. According to Rudolf Steiner, the incarnation of the solar Christ and his crucifixion, known as the Mystery of Golgotha, marks the most significant moment in human spiritual evolution. Steiner taught that the solar Christ is not merely a historical figure, but the cosmic logos, the spiritual sun being who descended into human form to reconnect humanity with the divine. The mystery of Golgotha served as a spiritual seed, allowing individuals to awaken a higher consciousness and eventually regain a relationship with the divine, to cast out the Luciferic beings and complete humanity's spiritual development. If you like this podcast, click like and subscribe. It lets me know that I'm doing the right thing and should keep producing these videos for you.